This Sunday is the fourth Sunday in the season of Lent, and it's commonly known as Refreshment Sunday. After the first 3 weeks of the Lenten pilgrimage, and as we prepare for the darkest time as we move closer to Good Friday and the Triduum, this fourth Sunday is this middle point of the season, is a little bit of a lighter time. And that lightness will come out in the prayers, in the readings, in all of the liturgy will be reflected a slight lightening of mood. We will start off with the collect, the opening collect, that talks about Christ being the true bread come down from heaven. And this is commented then on by the readings. In the Old Testament reading, we have the passage from Joshua where the children of Israel, after they have left Egypt and have been wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, and they finally make it to the promised land, and they encamp in Gilgal. And the passage from Joshua says that they ate the fruit of the land, and that the manna that they had been eating on their wanderings ceased on that day. So kind of hearkening back to that true bread come down from heaven. Of course, the manna came down from heaven while they were on their wandering in their wilderness, but now they have this more bountiful feast as they eat the fruit of the land of the promised land. And then in the gospel, we have the wonderful story of the prodigal son. And of course, that all points to once the son comes back to the father and once they reconcile, they're led into this abundant feast. So this idea of a feast prepared for us, overflowing from God's love. The psalm also is a little bit of a hinge between those two and talks about happy are those whose sins are forgiven. And it kind of foreshadows a little bit of that prodigal son's journey as he goes from wandering in the wilderness to coming back into the promised land. We'll start off the service with something that kind of picks up a little bit on that psalm. Oh, bless the Lord, my soul. These are actually a versification of Psalm 103, which is a different psalm than the psalm appointed for the day, but it has a lot of that same feel to it. And it's a very strong and very optimistic tune. It's a very short tune, but we have 6 verses of that, and so it's a nice way, a peppy way sort of, to start our service off. And then, as I say, very quickly we will transition into that idea of thinking about getting into the promised land, coming to the banquet, the true bread come down from heaven. And the choir will comment on all of those themes with their offertory anthem, which is an arrangement of the American spiritual Deep River. And this arrangement was done by Jerry Hancock, who for most of his career was at St. Thomas Fifth Avenue in New York, where he oversaw a very robust, almost an English cathedral-style music program right in Midtown Manhattan with men and boys doing daily evensong. And Jerry Hancock really left a very, very big imprint on church music in general in America, and specifically in the American church. And so Jerry Hancock, taking this American spiritual, this drawing from our folk idiom, but thinking about that idea of being, I want to cross over Jordan, I want to be in that campground, and that idea of being in the promised land. But Jerry Hancock has a very jazzy, a jazz-infused way to clothe that American spiritual. Also note, in a less liturgical vein, this is the weekend in the end of Big Year's Festival, and we will welcome, hopefully, if this year is like years past, we'll have some visitors to Knoxville that are here for the festival. So we'll probably have a few more unfamiliar faces, and we'll of course want to extend that very warm welcome as we invite everyone here at St. John's downtown or watching us online to join in that bountiful feast.